Hi there, LinkedIn family. Jonathan here from Some Talented People with another Social Me Too recording. We're joined this time by Olivia, who's in our South Africa region and started our South African group, and Anusia, who has been a long-time advocate, supporter, and promoter of our cause. And Gregory is with me as well. So let me show you the gang. Hey, wave gang. Woo! Yeah. Got to
Hello.
do your left, not your yes. Yeah. So, basically, this has moved on, and I want to tell you where I am, and then we'll get some perspectives because I'm trying to push this forward, and I don't know what I'm doing. So it's a learning process. So basically, what I've done in the last 3 weeks. If you've been watching the chat, I did put it in there, but I've had a press release written to apply to BBC radio, BBC Breakfast Television, some of these shows, because certainly in the UK at the moment, there's a lot of emphasis on this because an MP, Parliament member, was murdered a couple of weeks ago, and the social media came into the conversation to the extent that our Home Secretary proposed a law to make anonymity on the internet or on social media illegal. So when one of their own dies, they can make laws as quick as they like. But the thousands, the millions of women and men who are suffering abuse and scamming, people are not interested. In the post I did today, I said they go, always when a woman complains or a man complains, they go, it's not outside our terms and conditions. And so, you know, you're getting automated responses that don't take your perspectives into account. And I'd like to know, I think Olivia, as our newest member, I'd like to get your perspectives on that. And then we'll talk about your experiences with unwanted behavior, if that's okay.
Sure, no problem, Jonathan. So with regard to the whole thing where they want to actually abolish anonymity concerning social media, it actually might be a good thing, because there's a lot of people hiding behind making up certain profiles, for example, and they actually do a lot of bullying on social media and, for example, stalking on social media. Specifically, if you don't pay attention to them and they are actually trying to get your attention, and or you want to say, no, I'm not interested, for example, in a specific thing, or they don't get that you're married or you're in a relationship, for example, and they just don't want to stop. So they will create different kinds of profiles, for example, even on different social media platforms, and try to invite you in different ways as well. So they will also pretend to be, for example, if it's a guy, he will pretend to be a female to try to befriend you again in a different way, and gain your trust in that way. And then it actually comes out in the end that it's actually that same person.
What in your experience has been the motivation there? Were they trying to scam you or fraud?
It's mostly guys that are either trying to scam you, like, for example, for money, like they would ask, for example, after trying to be your friend or trying to be more than a friend, like, or they are actually very intense, for example, like trying to get sexual favors for money, for example. Yeah, it happens. For example, on Facebook, this one guy tried that whole thing. I said, I'll give you 10,000 rand if you sleep with me, for example.
Wow.
Those, yeah. it happens. It happened on LinkedIn as well. Like this guy was like, no, I'll fly you over to Canada, blah, blah, blah. If you like come sleep with me and have this relationship with me, but it's all about like, and I'm like, this is not the platform for what I'm here for. So they are those people, and
Yeah.
it's like it's really intense because I'm thinking, what did I do to actually solicit this behavior? But there's nothing that I've said or done. It's
Mhm.
been totally professional, like, hi, how are you? How's your day? Just answering them basically. And then it gets all of a sudden the topic just changes into like, oh, do you want to sleep with me? Blah, blah, blah. And then I'm like, no, oh no, where did this come from? Because I'm reading the conversation back again and I'm thinking, no, but there's nothing I said or did to actually warrant this behavior from this person.
It's interesting because this is something that we realized quite early on. Do you want
Yeah.
to comment, Anasia,
Yeah,
please?
these are the things you can see it happen, and the way Olivia was mentioning, it is, I think it's called like a honey trap. There's a concept. Yeah, honey trap. They try to manipulate things because they actually, it's kind of extortion. They want to extort. Yeah.
So
It's
for the
kind of-
fraud, I can get that, but these guys that are saying I want to fly you out here or sleep with you for money, what the hell is going on there?
It's very troublesome.
Yeah.
So this leads in actually to one of the things that I think that this movement can do. So I'm going to do a quick piece to camera. So you've listened to these story from Olivia and from Anasia, and if you're a woman watching this video, I don't think that social Me Too is going to change men. But if you heard the questions that Olivia asked of herself, that is what's happening to millions of women everywhere. Because this thing is arriving in your hand, in your home, it is intimate, it is close. And so the first thing you do when a conversation turns sexual or scamming is you ask yourself, what have I done? And if we do nothing else with social Me Too, I want to communicate that you have done nothing. Okay, so team, gallery, talk to me.